All right, let's go back to the Delirium Stompy deck. Most promising deck by a lot so far. Yeah, Rumble's a sorcery. Okay, Cash Grab and Grizzly Salvage are both instants. Okay, so deck looked good yesterday. Deck looked great. We're playing against Dingo. Today we have cut the Patchwork Beasties. We're now playing Nethergoyfs instead. Fourth Endurance on the sideboard. Endurance was really, really good yesterday. Yeah, I'm going to go get this in the Mox Field 2 in the title. Let's just jump into it. Okay, so we're going to keep our 6-card hand. On the play against Gigantha, I'm going to lead on Basic Mountain, I think. Because I'm just so likely to want to Tarfire. Right, opponent decides to mold a 6 after some deliberation. Oh, they're Domain Zoo, though. Leyline Signs, very good against our deck game 1. And immediately the Haywire Mites are worse, I think. The Force of Vigors. Okay, no Ragavan on turn 1. I think I'm going to Rumble since I can give my FOMO haste next turn. I'm also not sure that I want to discard this Tarfire. I probably do, though. Looking for a Flytrap mostly. We might be playing into Stub a little too much, I guess. Maybe this is my fault, huh? Well, next turn I can attack with like both of these hasty, so maybe it's not going to be so bad. Yeah, Leyline, Stub, Scion, pretty dang good against us here. So we're not going to be hasting our FOMO anymore. Nethergoyf is bigger than the Scion. So we're going to play FOMO, discard Tarfire, play Nethergoyf. And try to figure this out. Could you more grinding and play 2 Saga? I'm not going to play Urza Saga in this deck. There's 0% chance I ever put Saga in this deck. DJ Gigante with the 31. Thank you so much. Channeler is a liability now. I mean, I can hold it in my hand for a bit, but I just want the Tarfire in the graveyard, and it's not going to have a good target. It should be the card discarded here, I think, kind of clearly. Another one. Okay, that makes my Goyf a 6/7. I don't know if they wanted to do that. Again, racing the Leyline Scion is going to be pretty tough. Dude, that's a great draw from them. We're gonna need to find a Detective's Phoenix, I think. Although I guess a hasty Flytrap would be, yeah, hasty Flytrap could do it too. Especially because that would turn the channeler. I have 6 types. Yeah, Flytrap, Phoenix, Rumble, say its name, all pretty good top decks, I guess. 2 cards in their hand. We need them to not play another creature this turn. Put Gigantha in your hand. There you go. Flytrap. Okay, I mean, this was on my list. I'm going to go ahead and Channeler first, so I can just dig a bit deeper and potentially find a Phoenix in the yard. Not ambitious enough to give this haste, though. But also, if I Flytrap next turn, then this will be able to attack through the Channeler, too, and I can just dig deeper for that. I do brick pretty hard. I have the option of getting back a fetch land to Surveil, or I have the option of grabbing a Fear of Missing Out. I think I like the fetch land because this allows me to draw like another Say Its Name and then hit something. I'm going to attack for 7. Oh, sorry. I guess I'll surveil post-combat, but I should have surveilled pre-combat to maybe find Phoenix. Why are we keeping DRC in hand? Because it has to attack each turn if able. My opponent has a Sign of Draco that can just easily block it and gain 4 life and kill my Channeler. So we're waiting until we find a way to pump this with Flytrap or Phoenix. Okay. Would I like there to be a Commander, RCQ, or Pro Tour? So I've been thinking about this. I think that it could be cool if there was a Commander tournament series that wasn't a Pro Tour, that was like its own thing. I don't know exactly what that would look like, but I don't see why it has to be called the Pro Tour. I don't see why it has to compete with the Pro Tour. I feel like you could just have your own Wizard sponsored Commander tournament series, whatever that looks like. Was Saga a consideration? No, it was not a consideration. I'm gonna cut, I think, just all the lightning bolts. I don't know if I care that much about killing the Shower Brawler and Wild Cattle. Just mostly want the types. Put 1 bolt, 3 Tarfire, I guess. Yeah, it might have been better to chump. I mean, it just wasn't a very winnable game at that point. I think I'm gonna mulligan this one. Does Commander even work as a tournament format? I don't know. I mean, I know people do run EDH tournaments. I know that I don't know if it would be a 4-player thing. The rules would be like weird, like stopping collusion would be like a weird drama thing. You might have to just do 1v1 Commander as a tournament series, right? But yeah, I don't know. Like there's a lot of like, oh, if EDH is a format, then there's gonna be Commander Pro Tours. I just don't see why like this, like it seems like there is a market for Commander tournament series, and it doesn't seem like this market competes with the Pro Tour. That's my impression, at least. Yeah, or like good like two-headed giant. Two-headed giant might be correct. What's my opinion of Vine Lasher and Crime decks in Modern Pioneer? It's like I had like a landfall aggro deck that was that I liked it in. I think it is a fine option. Right, it's gonna graveyard to say its name, I think. Take a peek at my top card. It's another copy of Channeler. I don't think I really want to draw right now, so I'm just going to surveil right now, see if I get Delirium on this. I have Delirium after the bolt or after my Channeler gets bolted. Oh, it's still there. Now, if they bolt my Channeler right now, I don't know if I'm going to bolt in response. Doing so would be good if I found a 6-type and I could get going on the Flytrap, but looks like they're not going to. Don't love drawing a 5th land here. If there was ever a time I wanted to see a Neshoba Brawler, that time would be now, I guess. Okay. I'm gonna bolt my opponent here. If I find that 6-type, it's a really, really big game. Ding, ding, ding. Wow, another Flytrap. Alright, so we're gonna put 4 counters on our Channeler. Attack for 7. Yeah, this is the deck I'm most pumped for. It's been pretty dang good. The Nethergoyfs have seemed like an upgrade to our straight green-red build so far. Imagine if we had Arena of Glory there. They're just jump blocking. Probably double chumping this turn. Don't love to draw 6 land. I think I just go all in on the Channeler because if they binding this Flytrap and like I'd rather than binding the Channeler still than binding the Flytrap. And then now that I get the attack trigger, I'm just gonna go in here. Maybe it's better to go like 1/1 because now I guess they could double block and bolt my Flytrap. Not sure if I care that much. I guess they're just dead if they do that. Unless they have bolt and binding, but they would have already bindinged. Right, they pack it in. I used to win that one despite drawing 6 lands. It's a little nervous. All right, let's go. Thoughts on a few brawn? I don't know what that is. I'm hearing reports that is whatever it is, it's not legal in Modern. Oh, the green anger that grants trample, yeah, not legal. Neither is anger. Anger would be better though. How is that 7-mana creature pronounced spike? I'm the wrong person to ask, apparently. Alright, on the draw. Opponent is thinking about their 7. It does not seem like a snap keep. They go to 6. Go to 5. How about a One of Wonder? Well, I don't have any islands in my deck, so maybe let's not. If we are play a blue build, we can play some wonders, or one or two. Go they're mulling to 4. Has Altanak come into play? Not today yet. Came and play a couple times yesterday. I love that they're playing a creature that I can Tarfire on their mull to 4. Alright, I give you all the credit, Mobius. I think Zoo. There's been a lot of Zoo in the leagues yesterday. I think Zoo is quite good. Nice to have a Kavu, so we get to play a game. Although because they're on a mull to 4, there's going to be I feel some like pretty big tension on their decisions to go after my graveyard aggressively to get me off Delirium versus filtering their draws. Yeah, I think I'm just taking the land. Hand is all action. 7 types in the graveyard. My opponent can get me down to 5 types if they exile something, though. But I'll still have Delirium at the very least. Zoo is one of the top decks not playing Ring. I think that's a mistake. It should also be, it should also be playing Rings. Okay, for Zoo, I think they should cut Ragavan, Nacatl, Neshoba Brawler, play Guide Pride of Johnny. I've been saying this for a while. Doesn't seem like anybody's doing that. I haven't been playing the archetype a lot, so I don't want to, maybe I'm just wrong somehow. These cards are not good in the archetype, but this has been my impression for a little bit. I would not play. I would really strongly encourage you to not play the Ring in Zoo, but it is an interesting thought. Okay, so now I'm down to 6 types still. So let's take this hit. Another Ragavan. Now what happens if I put the counters here? 4 counters on a spawn token. Seems quite fearsome. Perhaps comparable to a Dothraki in an open field. Although I guess the problem is that they just get domained and I don't have a good block. Yeah, I think I want to keep my spawn token around for the second Flytrap. Maybe I could go 1/1. Yeah, I'll just put the 1 counter on each, and then that way my Flytrap could block the Kavu, and then if they like binding the Flytrap, I still have a blocker for the Ragavan, and then next turn this would be really potent. Flytrap scales. I mean, it's possible. Like getting Delirium in a scales deck is pretty realistic. I'm very open to the idea. So they're gonna go after my spawn token, and then I can sack the spawn to deny the life gain at least, and then they don't have domain, so I doubt they're gonna want to attack with the Kavu, right? Into my 4/6. Then they're just actually just dead. This is a lethal attack next turn. Say its name. A Buried Alive can only put creatures in the graveyard. This seems to be a pretty common misconception. All right, so 2 counters doubled up to 8. I think I'm graveyarding that because my hand is all action, but I'm not sure. Like you would see Buried Alive for 3 Creeping Chills if it could just get 3 any cards, just triple into them. Okay, this is how big? 2022. Not the best year. Flytrap is so crazy. We didn't even give it haste this time. Flytrap is so crazy. They loot away a Leyline, and they concede before I block. Oh, they let me block. Flytrap is very strong. Like, shockingly strong. Not a card I really expected to be playable in Modern, but has become just quite good. So Bauble Delta means they're not just like normal blue-black frog, right? That being said, I'm gonna play around Bowmaster on my Nethergoyf and get the Overgrown Tomb. Green white scales, the new 2-mana white creature that moves counters and dies. I don't know. I don't think that card's great. I mentioned in my set review because you would need like 5 more cards that work with it somehow. I think that card is like really far away. So they must be playing like Shadow here, right? And then they stomp. It's okay. It's an extra type in the yard. Yeah, I guess I need to rumble here. I want my Flytrap to be online. Let's take a channeler. So, only 3 types. We can get the 4th type by bolting first if we want to. Does this deck just have a hard time against persistent graveyard hate? Well, we have answers to it in the sideboard, but there aren't really very many Leyline of the Voids. There's actually way more now than there were like a week ago, but Leyline of the Void's still a pretty rare card. Rest in Peace continues to be like non-existent in Modern. Unlicensed Hearse is like slow, and then like basically everything else is like one use. And so like you can just kind of play through most Graveyard Hate, and then you have Haywire Mites for Leylines, and Rest in Peace is not existent. Sanctifier is like non-existent. If Sanctifier, Rest in Peace were popular, then it would be tougher. Yeah, Hearse is really not so bad. Have a Shadow. One claim to flame too bad? Probably, yeah. I mean, I don't know. Doesn't get back your Flytrap. I don't know you'd play over it, but it would be fine. It would not be the worst suggestion. I think we're graveyarding FOMO for extra type here, since I really want to get extra types for both Flytrap and Nethergoyf. Can maybe surveil off the Catacombs if we don't draw like a Bauble or a Tarfire. Okay, dead Channeler. 3 cards in their hand. Dead Nethergoyf. Get attacked for 1. They have 1 card in their hand, and they have Bone Crusher available too. Yeah, I'm just gonna Flytrap here. Let me see if I get that 6 type first. Not quite that lucky. Not gonna keep a land here either. Did this set with Delirium make Rumble that much better? I mean, Rumble was already, like, I think incredibly good in Modern, but yes, it got even better. Do you think Flytrap is too much mana for the Hollow One deck? Not necessarily. You could maybe play it in Hollow One. Hollow One is like a little bit tighter because you have to like maintain Hollow One synergies with like, in addition to like the Delirium stuff, and but you could. I mean, I'd be open to it. Flytrap is a 2/4. Base 2/4, yeah. We'll probably be attacking for lethal next turn, since I'm pretty sure we're pretty likely to get the extra type off the Say Its Name, although they do have another removal spell here. Okay, so I'm down to 12. If I cast a FOMO, I trigger Bowmaster. We don't need to be too worried about that, although okay, now kill the Bowmaster first. Let's just cast Say Its Name, but I'm probably going to get back the Goyf and then Tarfire, although we'll see. I mean, maybe we'll get back Flytrap. I think I want to be more aggressive, though. Opponent is reading Say Its Name. Yeah, let's just take the Goyf. I also want to FOMO with an empty hand maybe to get card advantage with it. That might not matter as much. But I also want to get a creature in play this turn. Any good split cards worth trying out? I don't think so. Okay, stomps me end of turn. Dante, thank you for the raid. Dante the Snake, MTG Games. Welcome everybody. Shout out to all the snakes out there. Okay, so Dead Bowmaster, clearing the way for FOMO. Let's see what we draw. Okay, we draw a Flytrap, so we're just going to play that. And then, yeah, I can just make my Nethergoyf a lethal attacker here. 4 counters, attack for 10. That Delirium land worth in your deck. I don't know what card you're talking about. Let me know what it is. If it, the tapped enchantment land, no. That's what you're talking about. Yeah, Tarfire has been so good, dude. Oh, Woodlands. Arena of Glory is better than Woodlands in this deck, I think. Dude, that Death Shadow is so tiny. Just gonna see how much damage this is. 20 damage. Okay. So up a game against Rakdos Death Shadow. Let's play more than 0 Haywire Mites for sideboard hate cards, I think. 2 is probably a good place to start. I don't hate trimming a Channeler on the draw against the Bowmaster deck, and I don't hate trimming a Bolt or Tarfire either. Bolt's pretty nice against Shadow, though. I'm going to do 3/3. If we didn't have just Mountain, this hand would be great, but I think we have to have a bit more of a functional draw. So I definitely want to crack the Bauble on my turn to best play around a Bowmaster. And I'll keep a say its name, so we'll just play Blood Crypt, Haywire Mite. TBR will be a great one. I think the card's super slow and outdated. Calling TBR slow, I know, sounds very odd, but it is. It's like you have to already have the thing in play, then attack with it. This deck just attacks with stuff the turn you play it because of all these Arena of Glories and Detectives Phoenixes. Have I lost games to Bowmaster and All Tech yet? No, not yet, but it's very easy to play around if you just leave up a red mana. I think it'll basically never happen. But you don't get the card out that often. It's just kind of something you get lucky with sometimes. You're just happy to play Say Its Name for the most part. Is it Tassiger? No, Detectives Phoenix. That makes more sense. They were doing like the Bestow thing. Or like the Exile from Graveyard thing. Okay, getting hit for 3. Not the worst. They have 3 cards left in their hand. Let's see what we draw. I'm not sure what I'm playing this turn. Another Rumble. I think I'll just cast a Rumble now. Well, gotta take another go. If we did mill another copy of Say Its Name, so this might be our first all-in-the-tech game of the day if we can find one more. I'm down to 13. They have 3 cards in their hand. And they're pass of the turn. Detectives Phoenix is nice. Let me, I think, just cast another Rumble first. And then we do find the last copy of Say Its Name, which is interesting. So I think I'm going to take Arena of Glory, or maybe I'll take the Flytrap. Yeah, I'll take the Flytrap. Well, I'm going to take the Arena of Glory, and then maybe I get back the Flytrap with the Say Its Name. And then I can haste Flytrap and FOMO next turn. Oh wait, sorry. I need to just I need to sack the spawn though, so I can just all attack into play, and then leave up a red mana for Bowmaster potentially. I could also not play around Bowmaster, but it seems like I should be playing around it. Yeah, let's play around it. But I could also haste. I can haste my own attack and attack for 11. So I'm gonna get back to Flytrap and then say its name. Mispronounce, mispronounce, mispronounce. You can discard the third say its name with FOMO. Yeah, maybe that was better. I guess that would be better if they like make a gigantic orc army that kills me. Discard say its name with FOMO was lethal potentially. Okay, thank you. Guess that was better, huh? They bolt me. Does FOMO push out my break anew into playable territory? Okay. Well, did it take my opponent this long to count to my life total? Maybe it did. If they have Bowmaster as the lethal card, we don't need to feel too bad because we needed to play around it anyways. Your deck does not look very good at... oh, wait. I just missed that they had Delirium. Okay, so... Did not play around double Lightning Bolt very well, unfortunately. Let's run it back for game 3. Okay. How does playing around Red Man have Bowmaster? If they Bowmaster your Ultimate Tech, they just deck you immediately if you can't kill the Bowmaster. So we need to draw into a removal spell. Okay. This deck looks awful at getting Delirium, unfortunately. So I don't know that Fear of Missing Out would be good. If somehow it does get Delirium, it's better. Consider playing Dragon Rage's Channeler in your Delirium based red aggro deck. I don't know if I'm a believer in the Flare Duplication, but I would definitely be trying it out. Yeah, I don't know. I maybe want to play DRC and Bauble over like ND, Detective's Phoenix, and one of the instants and sorceries. Not sure. Why not play Endurance from board? I don't want to bring in Endurance as a way to turn off their Delirium, I think. I think I prefer to just be the aggro deck. It's like a mana curve consideration thing too. It would be fine, but you know, we're also like a very, you know, committed aggro deck ourselves. So it's like, oh, I just noticed that the arena enters tapped. So I guess we're not playing Goyf on turn 1. Kind of awkward. Okay, we don't mind getting Thoughtseized very much, at least. I think the Rumble makes sense. To say Gruul or Jund has been the best, I think that the Nethergoyfs are clear upgrades to the Beastie at this moment. There's not much difference between the two beyond that. Bit bad against Bolt to not get this larger and Encharger first. Fun matchup. Card on top with the Raucous Theater. Okay, about the same against that Fatal Push. Alright, so let's untap. Draw a FOMO. So probably just going to go FOMO, discard a... Well, I was going to discard Say Its Name. I think I'm still going to do that, but... I was thinking about trying to get a hasty, delirious Flytrap next turn. Could, I guess, still happen if we, like, fetch and Surveil, or if we fetch and Bolt, if we draw that. I guess if Blood Moon is well positioned, Gruul would be preferable. I mean, we just still have 3 moons on the board, is the thing. So I don't know. I'm kind of planning on boarding out Nethergoyf sometimes when I bring in moons. Cast a Death Shadow. Okay, so they play their own Goyf. And then they Thoughtseize. Probably not the best sequencing, huh? Maybe they know my exact hand somehow. I don't think so. I think something like a Rioter, like Ruination Rioter, Flytrap Bristlybill could do work. Maybe. And like the mono green or like the more green focus build, I am wanting to play Bristlybill, I think. Okay, so let's grab the Flytrap and then can't quite offer the trade right now. So they missed their third land last turn. They drew in one this turn. So their hand should be 4 spells. Death Shadow now online, but they know about my Bolt, and my Bolt could kill a Death Shadow of theirs here. Two black mana. Then Bolt my FOMO. Can I just make them chump block? I think I can just make them chump block here. No, I put them to 2, but I put them to 2 with a Lightning Bolt in my hand, so if they don't chump block, so it seems like the line. I'm going to put 2 counters here. Then just 1 on each. Guess they have Street Wraith, they can grow their Goyf at instant speed. Okay, opponent down to 7. They can kill my Flytrap and then cast it off Dothy Voidwalker. That could be pretty bad for me, although I might just have lethal anyways. I love to see that Voidwalker attack. I'm very surprised that that's the line. I don't really know what their hand could be. Sweeper? Toxic Deluge? I mean, they're dead if they Deluge. They know I have Bolt in my hand. This looks like Deluge. I have to pay 6 life. Do they not want to, like... They could have cast the FOMO also. Had they, like, sacked the Voidwalker first. So if it is Deluge, they're, like, misplaying. So it could be something else. How do they know the Bolt? They use Discord spells. Angler? I don't think it's Angler. Okay. Defensive Detectives Phoenix. They're also dead to this. Okay, nice. We're on the draw against a Gigantha. With, you know, kind of a painful hand to keep because you don't really know what it is, but I'm going to click the keep button. Channeler would be a cool top deck. My opponent's on a Mold 6 on the play here. Bowmasters versus Altanak has not happened yet, but it's not really a big concern because you just draw a 1-mana removal spell. Why not Street Wraith? I don't know. It's tough to have Bauble and Street Wraith in your deck, where like your opening hands are worse, you're worse at racing. I don't know if there's room to play both. You could play both. I did draw the Channeler. It doesn't seem like getting a creature in the yard is not nearly as important as getting an artifact in the yard like Bauble and triggering Channeler. Okay, we're looking for lands. We're looking for 1-mana removal spells. Oh, actually, we're looking for 3 copies of Say Its Name. I'd take it back. So I already have Delirium. It is turn 1. I think I'm just gonna graveyard that, have 6 types. I need to draw a third land or a second land, and as good as it is to kill Guide of Souls, I think I just am bottoming there. I haven't had the chance to try the Eye Monster. I think if there were less exciting things to do, I would have tried it by now, but it's just like I don't think that card is very good. I think that card is like very unlikely to be like optimal and modern, and I think there's just a lot more exciting stuff to work on. Unfortunately, because I do agree that the card is pretty sick. Okay, so I'm down to 16. Their hand is plains, 2 mystery cards. Let's go ahead and crack these. And then we're going to draw 3 fresh cards. Hopefully one of them is a land. After we got, surveilled 3 non-lands to the yard. Ding, ding, ding. Well, this is looking pretty optimistic. They don't have another 1-mana creature in their hand, probably. I think I'm just gonna pass. There's a 5/0 list featuring it with Unearth. I mean, I don't doubt that you can 5/0 with it, but I strongly doubt that that's going to be better than just playing Murktide Regent and not playing Unearth in your frog lists. But, like, it's also the kind of card that chat just loves. They just love their shitty 3-mana grindy cards so much. They love the shitty 3-mana grindy cards. But it's just not a very good format for it either. I agree that the card is very cool. All right, they keep a card on top. But for me, it's just not a card that I'm very excited about. Okay, 3 cards in their hand. They play the planes that we know about. They definitely have at least 1 spell. They surveil to the top. Wouldn't it work on the Satora shell? Does Manifest trigger Satora? Manifest. It could work in that shell. Yeah, I don't know. I think that it could be good there. I'm not saying that I'm not going to try it. I'm not saying that that card is certainly bad. I just doubt, and I'm just more excited by other things. Maybe I can phrase that in a different way next time. Okay, so Graveyard's second copy of Say Its Name. I can't stop winning. I'm just going to get basic mountain here. I don't think we'd care about Gwif that much. Our life total is more relevant because of Arena of Glory. Although I guess we're dead to Arena of Glory. No, we're not because we don't have enough cards. All right. Bestow. Exile, Flytrap, Channeler, Bolt. And still have 6 types in the yard, right? Oh, 5 types now. Because I lost the enchantment from the Phoenix. Why not FOMO the third one? I keep forgetting I could do that is the real answer. Oh, no, I wanted to get the land back to haste the Phoenix, though. I think this was better. I do keep just, like, not thinking about that line for some reason. But in this spot, it is better to get back the land so I can haste and attack for 11. Bauble would have been a better choice. Okay, you can't take Bauble back, but this was the right choice, y'all. I needed to get the land to attack for 11 this turn. Yeah, literally Hogak. Okay, so let's bring in the mites this time. Let's bring in the mites, and I think now I want to try the plan of just boarding out this package against energy, and just see how this plays with this plan. We've tried it with and it hasn't been great, so let's try without. Maybe I think I also want to play like 1 endurance over Phoenix 4, and maybe 2 endurance over Flytrap 4. Also, try this. Just different plans. Is this package Pioneer viable? Too hard to hit Delirium? I mean, you're much worse at hitting Delirium, and you don't have the good haste enablers that we have here with Arena of Glory and Phoenix. No fetch lands, no Bauble, no Tarfire, no Channeler, no Rumble. So you're missing a lot of the good stuff. Could still be viable. Okay, I'm gonna keep this on the draw. I don't know if I'm gonna play Channeler turn 1 because I have Pyroclasm. We'll just see what they do and what I draw. So no, I mean I also don't really play a lot of Pioneer, but yeah, it doesn't seem all that likely. Yeah, I think with them playing Ocelot Pride, me not drawing green mana, I'm just gonna pass. They seem to be F6. Draw our other mountain. Bitter Union would not be good here. In my opinion, we already have 8 enchantments. 2 mana don't impact the board is not really playable. We have plenty of other good haste enablers too. Okay, so they do have a removal spell. Would love for them to play into the Pyroclasm a bit more. Not sure exactly how long I will be willing to wait on it though. Either way, we're going to hit for 2 down to 17. And they still don't play around it. Or they still do play around it. Let me go ahead and just play another FOMO. Just having the 2/3 on the board with Pyroclasm in hand is so critical, I think. I'm going to discard my second copy of Lightning Bolt and then see what we draw. And then this allows me to go Channel or Bauble with Delirium so none of my stuff dies to my Pyroclasm. Looking for green mana, probably more than anything else here. Flytrap, a standout card to you, Spiky. Yeah, the card's been very good. Like, weirdly good. I don't know if it's going to be that good in that many other shells, because you need to be... Like, haste plus Delirium is a really key component. Okay, so 2 cards in their hand. We'll know... one of them. Just an Aether Hub. Any ring-a-ding-dings? Third removal spell. Yeah, so it seems like they maybe were not playing around Pyroclasm, they just don't have any other creatures. If they... I don't know if they would play... If they had another one, they could still have been playing around it and not play anything else. But this is going to be our Pyroclasm turn, I think. Then we draw off Bauble, we draw for turn. Lucky enough to find green mana. Yeah, so we'll set up for a big hasty Flytrap next turn. We could maybe just hasty Flytrap with Bolt up this turn. But we're already here. Could also be good to maybe hold the Rumble in case they have Graveyard Hate, not really sure. Just gonna take this Bauble, and then... pass back. How's Goyf been worth running, John? Yeah, it's not, the splash is pretty easy to do because you're already playing a ton of fetch lands, and the card is definitely much better than Patchwork Beastie, so seems to be a pretty slam dunk change from yesterday's list. Of course, it was good to like spend the time testing Beastie, right? I always like to spend some time with the new cards. So we draw 2 fresh ones. I got 1 card in their hand here. Draw another Pyroclasm. I think I'm going to put all my counters on the Channeler so that I just, like, this is still, like, a crazy, gigantic threat that they need to, like, that they might Static Prison, and because their last card could very easily be Static Prison, but if their last card's Static Prison, then I just have a gigantic Channeler. This is a little worse, I guess, against my opponent having a Bolt or Discharge as their last card, but I don't know if I care so much about playing around that. Also, they're not dead to my Bolt, are they? They might just be dead to my... Oh, they are dead to my Bolt if they don't block. They're just dead. Yes, to answer your question, Flytrap has been a standout card for me. It has been kind of a silly thing. Okay, they do decide to play around the Bolt, which is honestly like sauce as hell. I don't know if I'm gonna be quite honest. I feel like they're like always wanting to like get the chump blockers for this, and like just not play around me having a Bolt. But whatever, I think they're gonna die anyways. Yeah, dead anyways. Let's have some fun. You need tap a land to keep rep. That's fair. It's just like it's just not very realistic for them to play around bolt. They're just so behind. But it's okay. It's not a big deal. All right, let's get a trophy prediction coming. Okay, trophy prediction going. We are on the play with a strong hand. When it's on a mold to 5, mold to 4. Don't know if I like that. Playing some kind of combo deck. Mold to 3. My opponent's username is I like people 1, so maybe they just mulligan to 0, give people free wins. No, you don't want to play the battles. They just don't do anything. These don't do things are better because this one gives you mana. This one puts 9/9s into play, and like also just they're just better at getting you more types in the yard because they mill you. Forest. Mold to 3 basic forest. I mean, how could a mono green Tron hand keep just a basic forest? Oh shoot, I meant to rumble. That's kind of embarrassing. I guess of all the times to mess up. Okay, so they're an Eldrazi shell. So I'll just go Channeler Bauble this turn, so I get the Bauble value. I can haste the Nethergoyf next turn. Kozilek's command. Can they cast it? Do they have another colorless source in their hand? Probably Leyline combo. No, they're just green Eldrazi the mold to 3. Such a thing as mulliganing too aggressively, I guess. Yeah, you don't have to cast Say Its Name to get the 9/9. You just exile them from the yard. It is pretty powerful when you do it. Especially if you have a Detective's Phoenix. Don't know if it really matters so much. Take this so I can play Channeler and also go away Phoenix. I do have another enchantment in the yard. I'll just exile this for ease here. Are the 1-mana land cycles too slow? Yes, I think so. I don't think they're playable here. So up a game against Ella, like just mono green Eldrazi. Let's bring in the Haywire Mites. Not only do these hit Talisman and Ring, but they're also going to be able to hit like Trinisphere and Chalice, potentially. Although Chalice and 1 a bit harder, of course. And then on the draw against mono green Eldrazi, I'm not going to bring in the Blood Moons. I'm going to go, I think, just cut 3 Lightning Bolts. I'm going to keep this. Might actually use Altanak ability for the first time. Hopefully we can surveil into something a bit more impactful to do. My opponent has mulligan to 6. Hopefully they keep more cards than 3 this time. Well, we didn't see a Tron land last game, and we saw 2 Forest after a multi 3. I didn't think they had a Tron in their deck. I think we're going to graveyard that for Delirium. But like Forest, Talisman. They seem like a fair, safe assumption. So draw a card of Bauble, draw a card for turn. No, I'm just thinking about playing. I think I'm just going to Surveil instead of playing the Haywire Mite. Nattytron. And Devourer of Destiny. They also have a card in their hand, so this is looking quite bad. We'll bring in the Blood Moons on the play. Okay, that's type number 6, so my Flytrap. Ooh, and I can haste it too. That's incredible. I might not lose this game. They're gonna chump block probably. Very funny to just have a turn 3 Devourer on an empty field and then you're chump blocking with it. Yeah, I don't think they're going to go to 1 here. And then I guess it's a big bummer that if they go Karn Bridge, I can't Haywire Mite the bridge because there's a Karn in play. Brawn is not legal in Modern, but that's not the first time it's been suggested. I did learn what Brawn was after it was suggested. This sort of reminds me of Hogak. Yeah, me too. A lot bigger than Hogak was. It's safe to unban now. Okay, you're supposed to sack your spawn or tap your Tron if you're making spawns basically every single time. Does seem like we're gonna have to go to game 3. Wisely grabs Tormod's Crypt. Let's go to game 3. On the play. I think I'm gonna cut the Mites for Moons on the play. Mite not very good against the Karns. Let's click the keep button. On attack kills you if it targets by a Bowmaster. Not if you draw into a removal spell. But yeah, it's been a big topic of conversation. Roll to 6, reveal a Devourer. Bauble into a 4th type so we can haste Fear of Missing Out and attack for 8 next turn would be pretty nice. Do you think it's going to be viable in Pioneer? Is Chandler just too important? I mean, it's Chandler, Bauble, Arena of Glory, Detectives Phoenix, Malevolent Rumble, Fetchlands, Tarfire. You're missing all of those. You can figure it out, but that's your problem is that you're missing all of those, and it's in fact specifically Doomwake's problem that you're missing all of those. Yeah, you can play Beastie. Beastie is an option. Coffee, Altanak. Thank you for the 2 years. So they exile my Phoenix and they exile my Channeler. See how that works out for them, I guess. So I want to go Channeler, say its name. I'm thinking about hasting the Channeler. 8 plus 8 plus 2 is 18, but that's lethal if like they tap the ring once. So I think that that's like a relevant enough thing to exert this turn. And then you were pretty likely to get Delirium with the Surreal and the Mill 3, and then already have 2 of the 4 types. But that's redundant. We do hit though. I'm going to go grab Verdant Catacombs. Thank you, Tarfire, for being 2 types still. We love you. It's down to 11. Definitely like to avoid a second Kozilek's command. Kind of feels like they have it, but this pause, like, what else can they be thinking about this long? So let's keep that on top so that we can potentially have lethal should this just work. Yeah, you can escape Nethergoyf with the hasted mana, just like you can escape Flage with hasted mana, which is really nice too. Sorry, not now. Spam risk. Looks like K command. I concur. Okay. So after much deliberation, my opponent decides to exile Tarfire, exile Overgrown Tomb. This seems to be kind of a poor decision point because I can just crack my fetch land. Oh, I can't just crack my... Never mind. I cannot just crack my fetch land and my Bauble. But I do have the second Tarfire to play around this. So we'll go Surveil. That is really good if they just play the ring next turn. I love how they've spent 2 of their Kozak's command X like my yard, and I just still have Delirium. No, don't consider Kroxa. It's just much worse than Phoenix and Goyf as like graveyard utility cards. Plus, we only have 2 black sources in our deck. Do you have a surgical extraction in your hand, opponent? Or are we just chilling? I guess we could just be chilling. Should we surveil Moon to the Yard after seeing Talisman on top? So the thing is, they're like pretty likely to play the ring next turn, and if they play the ring, we really just want to slam Moon. And if they don't play the ring, like they don't have that many good plays besides like third Kozak's command, which isn't very likely because they've already played 2. Is Goyf a consideration as you can give it haste? It's a consideration. It's just Nethergoyf is so much better on the curve, and you can haste it from the graveyard with Arena of Glory too. So, and I don't think there's room for both. Hold Nether, can 6 everything. Can't haste. You cannot haste. You cannot haste a single black mana cost. Also, what do you mean exile everything? How are they exiling everything? They can't always just this. What? Are you banned? Banned. And his Talisman 3 mystery cards. That's how. I mean, playing around Tower, All is Dust. We know one of the cards is Talisman is stuff, but if they All is Dust, you're banned. Oh, or they might be dead if they All is Dust. Can I Arena of Glory haste? I can, but I probably have to remove too many types for it to be lethal. There's a Talisman. 3 cards left in their hand. An Eldrazi spell. All is Dust or Devourer. Okay, Devourer, not banned. So they exile my Channeler. So this is 6/6 against my 5/6. And then they play a Haywire Mite. So they even have an Answer to the Moon. So I'm going to tap like this, like float the haste mana so that a Flytrap can be hasted here. Or a Channeler or FOMO, I guess. Weird. Because I'm like, oh no, this is such a brick, but I milled over 2 more Say Its names. So now we cast Moon and Say Its name, I guess. We didn't even get another type. This is such a weird turn. I think that's better than channeling. Going well, Fax. New set, a lot of cool stuff. Glad you're back. Yeah, Hasty Blood Moon. So we're going to go up to 7 to kill the Moon. Obviously, the Moon doesn't do a lot here, but we're just playing it out. It's not going to get any better, I think. Your turn. 2 cards in your hand. Thanks, Simon. If they kill them in the Grove Quiz, no, it exiles the Moon, unfortunately. Tragic. I'd say it's even better than Cash Grab, a secondary mill effect. I think so, yeah. I mean, look, I just put a 9/9 into play for 0 mana. So imagine they're going to grab a ring here. They grab a bridge. which I don't have answers to. Tough game, dude. Tough game. We've been troned. Alright, get a 4-1 prediction going. Don't love this hand on the draw, but I think I'm going to keep on... I get some old 6 on the draw on the blind. Would Charm will be better this deck? I mean, I think it just matters more what you're playing against. Like, Moon is worse against Tron, but much better against Titan, and Charmal is not very good against Titan. And I don't know how easy it is to play both, but you can play both, and, you know, this is something you got to figure out, and it will change a lot, so it's not necessarily the most interesting either. You could play Charmal and Force of Vigor, and then have Force of Vigor be more so for Titan, and then Charmal be more so for Tron, and you could play Force over Haywire Mite again. I'm going to keep this on top because I got this Arena of Glory here. Well, I guess I really do not want them to counter my... So we get Forest because of Harbinger. I'm going to just play FOMO. Because I would really want this Rumble to resolve. And if this gets countered, it's, you know, not so bad for Delirium purposes anyways. You can play Damping Sphere, which is decent versus all. Yeah, it also gives you, like, more, you know, Storm Saber cards, too. This is probably a pretty good Damping Sphere deck. Yeah, I guess I agree. I worked Demonic Council. I think it was pretty good in the Woodlands deck. I didn't like Kona very much. I thought the Demonic Council was an option. They graveyard a Mutavault, so this is Dimir Merfolk we have found ourselves up against here, I think. I guess, sorry, I should have done this for the mountain, because we have... we don't have a swamp in our deck. So we graveyard say its name, and potentially a Phoenix. Yeah, I think I'm just going to grab this so I can get that basic mountain, and then... pass back. There's a chance they like try to Tidebinder my Wooded Foothills, but that would also be pretty okay with me, I think. Has Breach fallen off? We played against it once today. I think it's still like somewhat popular. So I'm going to try to Tarfire them end of turn so this can have 6 types. It's like a little weird against the Merfolk deck, although they might not actually be Merfolk. They might be Grixis Wizards, and they just didn't draw red mana. You know, we haven't actually seen a Merfolk card yet. And then, should I maybe not exert Arena of Glory? I mean, I'm getting kind of flooded. So my graveyard isn't like full enough for me to not. So let's just do this. This is fairies. Oh, you know what? This is fairies, isn't it? Tank, dress down. Should have kept an arena mana floating. Why? Rough. I'm getting rid of second Detective's Phoenix so I can just maintain all my types in the yard. Alright, so get in for 4. They have push, the dress down now gives them revolt. Yep. So they have a second push, but they don't exactly want to push the Phoenix, it seems. Could be an intricate bluff, but those don't really happen that often. So we've stopped them from scamming their Null Drifter, although maybe they have another way to do it. Yeah, just consign. Okay, not really that scary. But I need some juice. There's some juice. Sorry, this is the best top deck possible. Let's go. That's what I meant to say there. They are chump blocking with their Null Drifter. Wait, why do they have Mutavault? Just a utility land. Right, that's a big Detectives Phoenix. Yeah, maybe they have Kozilek's Command in their deck somehow. Seems unlikely. Dude, I love Arena of Glory. Flytrap. It is so fun. I think we're just casting this. What can you put instead of Nethergoyf? You can play you can play either Paul Patch Recruit, as what we had yesterday. No, sorry, Paul Patch Beastie? Patchwork Beastie. Patchwork Beastie. Final answer. You can play that card and just be red-green. You can also play Tarmogoyf as a budget option over Nethergoyf. If you're wanting a budget option over Nethergoyf, Tarmogoyf probably works just fine. Sad to say. Budget Nethergoyf alternative. Tarmogoyf. Right, keeping this one. Yeah, Paul Patch Recruit is a real card. There's Paul Patch Recruit, and then what is the Patchwork Automaton? Is that the one in Scales? And then there's now Patchwork Beastie. Crack now because of Bowmaster. Not that Bowmaster is particularly good for us, of course. Endurance for Murktide. Do we think they have Murktide in their Mutavault Null Drifter deck? I don't know. They might, but like, I'm not gonna bring in Endurance based on what we saw. I presume Goyf is felt better than Beastie. Yeah, it's been I think kind of a clear upgrade. Not that Beastie was bad, but Nethergoyf is just so big. And it can also be hasted off Arena, which hasn't come up yet, but in theory will come up. Okay, got opponent down to 14. I don't think we're going to get Harbingered, but, you know, we would lose to it here. There's a Nile Spellbomb with no black mana available. Don't think I want to float Arena of Glory mana here. I'm just going to cast this Rumble, leave a black for Nethergoyf. Could be good to hold this for like post Spellbomb. It also might just get countered. So it does just get countered. Okay. Not enough stuff in the yard to bestow, just to get in. Yeah, maybe it was just better to cast the Phoenix, but then it gets exiled by the Spellbomb. Could have been better to do nothing. Still, Endurance is good even without Graveyard Relevance. I mean, it's not good. It's a 3 mana 3/4 flash. This is not. This is something that I would say has text. I wouldn't call it good. And this is a very synergistic aggro deck, so there's more of a punishment for like boarding in like 3 mana 3/4 flashers than other aggro decks. Put it down to 8. Do we care if they just Null Drifter? I mean, I guess we don't not care. Starts off with a Surveil, so not very likely they have a Null Drifter because they would have wanted to cast that and then try to find an untapped land. Yeah, they did that in step because they're trying to scam Null Drifter into play. Okay, the Graveyard of Bowmaster. Okay, and then they probably just besequenced, whatever. Not the biggest deal. We are definitely behind. Now top deck the Flytrap like last time won't be as good, but maybe we can draw like say its name or Rumble into Flytrap here and give it haste. Oh, and that's step 1, baby. Hopefully we're not gonna get snared. Seems like I can tap like this. Might be missing something, but this seems fine. Can't quite cast that one. Still helpful for Delirium. Snare would be quite bad. Quite bad. Could sack the Phoenix and get Delirium. I think I'm going to leave the Phoenix in play for now. Just take 4 down to 10. They still have 4 cards in their hands. Quite a lot. There's the Null Drifter utility land. We're getting pretty lucky on our top decks here. That being said, it's still kind of likely this just gets countered. Okay, so pros and cons. Cons, we actually didn't get Delirium. Oh, we did because of the enchantment off the Phoenix. Okay, so just all pros, huh? So can I can bestow the Phoenix, and I lose Delirium, but I get 2 Surveils. It's risky, but I think with double Surveil, we're probably just supposed to go for it in this spot. I'm just going to exile Altanak. Mutas for waste mana, but what do they need waste mana for? Okay, I've graveyarded another Say Its Name, so if I mill the 3rd one, I'll feel so bad here. And I actually don't get Delirium again. So maybe this was a punt. In fact, now I can't really even attack into the Mutavaults very well. But I could maybe sack a Phoenix to the Null Drifter attack and then double block the Null Drifter. You can escape Goyf with haste and keep Delirium and kill also. No, I can't do that. I only had 4 types in my yard. I couldn't keep Delirium. Oh, okay, get him for 2. Was wondering why there is a reason to play. You play Pyroclasm over Rough Tumble in the green-red Stompy lists. It's like kind of a small thing, but like if Guide of Souls has a flying counter on it, you can like Pyroclasm plus Bolt. But it is maybe that's not a good enough reason, but that is usually why. Oh, there's a 3rd Say Its Name. You had lethal. I feel somewhat confidently I didn't, but why don't you type it out and so I correct me. You have to exile 4 cards of different types when you escape Nethergoyf. My opponent says 5 lands, top deck. Oh no. At least some of them are Mutavaults. Okay, so 4-1 this league. This deck is still looking very promising. There's a good chance that I'm just going to try to jam this in a challenge, likely with some Damping Spheres in the sideboard going forward, maybe some combination of Damping Sphere, Force of Vigor. If I feel like Titan's going to be more likely for tournaments, maybe some combination of Damping Sphere, Charm All, Force of Vigor, especially if the Damping Spheres in the side mean I don't need to play Magebane Lizards anymore. That might be good. Magebane Lizard is findable off of the 2 mana green cards. But I'll be working on the sideboard some, but this deck is just still looking really, really dang juicy. So I think that's going to be a good stopping point for today's stream. Tomorrow we're going to be, doing the normal stream, and then afterwards we're going to be doing a sponsored segment, and then after the sponsored segment we're going to be voting on losing.